What's up guys? I just wanted to briefly preface this video because this is going to be a small departure from our normal sailboat related content. As most of you guys probably already know, Randy Morgan and I took a long road trip over summer in a camper to, well, film boat tours and see the country. Some of you guys expressed some interest in wanting to see the trip itself, so we filmed during the trip and we're going to be putting out probably a 2 or 3 part series. This is going to be part 1, and yeah, there's not going to be any boat tours in these videos. I know this is different, but I hope you guys will enjoy this video. And don't worry, if you're not interested in seeing the road trip and you just want to see the boat tours, the next video after this one is going to be another boat tour. We do still have a few more boat tours from the trip filmed. But anyway, that's that. Here is the first video of our road trip. Alright guys, filming has begun and we are about to embark on a journey from New Orleans to Weatherford, Texas. 8 hours and 20 minutes. That's actually going to be like 12 hours with the baby. So we're leaving here at about 5:45 a.m. for this trip. Wanted to leave at 5, but everything takes longer with a baby.
So we didn't do any filming at the beginning of this trip because we were visiting with family, and then New Orleans, Louisiana has just always been somewhere on our list of places we wanted to go. So we went ahead and treated that like a vacation more so than anything else.
But now we're ready to get back to work, get some boat tours done, and we need to make it across the United States. Let's go.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car.
We just entered Texas, and so far looks the same as every other state I've ever driven through. We've never actually been to Texas. I don't think. Have you?
I have not.
Yeah, I haven't either. So we've never driven through it. We've never been to it. So we're kind of excited to, even though we're just driving through, to kind of go through a new state. So should be a lot of firsts on this trip. What do you think, Randy?
Yeah, it's exciting. It is cool that we're getting to go to so many different places that we haven't been before, even though, like Jordan said, we're just driving through basically. But it gives you kind of an idea of what the state's like. So we are interested to see how this state is.
So I don't know how many times I've said it on this channel, but we eventually want to buy land somewhere to basically call home and have a home base. We're never going to stop cruising, but we would like to do that with that home to always, you know, come back to. So there's a few reasons for this trip. One, to get boat tours, to get content, obviously. It's a good way to do that. 2, to explore. Really, we've never seen our backyard in, you know, the United States, really being our backyard. We've grew up in Florida. We've flown to different parts of the States. We've kind of driven up the eastern coast, but we really haven't seen much of the west coast or a lot of the interior. So we want to explore. We want to see things we haven't seen yet. And 3, we kind of want to scope out places for that home base. We don't feel like we can adequately decide on where we want to call our home base without really getting an idea for what most, if not all, of the continental U.S. looks like.
Now, we don't plan on seeing a lot of the interior of the U.S. on this trip simply because we are limited on time. So we're kind of doing a loop around the border of the continental U.S. would be the best way to describe it. So along the southern portion, that's why we're in Texas now, up the west coast, across the north, and then down the east coast essentially. So yeah, that eliminates a lot of the interior states, but hopefully we will get time to see those states another time. Not sure when.
Just to add to that too, we also like the land, you know, that we buy, not necessarily to be on the water, but to be within driving distance of a major body of water. So we're thinking, you know, either Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, or even Great Lakes. So not that we don't want to see the interior, I'm sure it's beautiful, but it doesn't align as much with our future plans. So right now we're about 3.5 hours out of Weatherford, Texas. That's outside of Dallas, and we're going to the KOA, and we're just staying there for one night. We would normally, if it was just Randy and I, we'd probably be just driving through. But, you know, with the baby, everything's changed. You know, we got to go slower. She probably needs to be fed. So we make a lot of stops, and we're kind of stopping, doing overnights, and we're shortening our trips. So hopefully we'll roll into Nevada, where we're meeting a friend in 2 days. So we've got a night here in Weatherford and another night outside of Albuquerque, I believe. So yeah. But we just talked to a viewer who is the owner of an awesome classic wooden sailboat, and he invited us out to San Diego to see the boat during the Wooden Boat Festival, and that, I believe, is not this weekend but next. So we've got to be out in San Diego for that. Hopefully we'll get some good boat tours.
Leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair.
So this is part of going on the road trip with the baby. Luckily, we're about 16 minutes away from our campground, but this is why we're stopping a lot. Gonna turn in for the night, let the little one be able to run around and stretch her legs, because as you can tell, she doesn't like being in the car seat. Obviously, she's not always crying, but we're getting towards the end of basically what's possible with her in the car. We've timed out our legs of this trip so that we can kind of get the maximum amount of distance with still having her be okay. She's been fine really up until now, and it's been about 12 hours in the car so far.
We timed it out pretty well because we are 14 minutes from our destination.
Yeah, and it's not 12 total hours in the car, that's including stops and everything.
Lots of stops.
Feeding her, letting her stretch her legs in between, taking her in the back of the RV, even though it's a little bit hot in there. So, yeah, but we're figuring it out. Where's the office?
Now we've made it to the campsite, so the baby gets to be out of the car seat, and she just likes to splay out and maybe crawl around a little bit. Saying hi. Hi. She's waving to you.
Alright, so I just pulled in and I'm down here on the floor fixing stuff because this camper is literally falling apart as we drive it. And we have to keep fixing things because we hit bumps on the road or we go through bumpy roads and things happen. So let me show you what happened on this trip. So the front of our fireplace fell off. So Randy's working on that. Back here, there was a panel in this compartment. I just ripped that out because that P-trap came undone as we were driving, and the reason why I noticed that was I heard a water rushing as I was washing my hands and it was hitting the floor. So now I've got to fix that.
We did mention that we bought the cheapest camper possible, correct?
Yeah, we did. In another video. And lastly, this panel over here keeps falling out. I've already duct taped it once.
It got wet with the water too.
But it got wet with water, so yeah. There's also supposed to be 3 drawers, and there's only 2. And they just, instead of putting the 3rd drawer in like they're supposed to be, they just put this cheap little panel in there that, as you can see, keeps falling out. So that's that. Nothing that's unmanageable. We're gonna, make do for now and fix this stuff when we can, because we got to keep moving in the morning. So we also just realized that in this compartment, this is the power right here to the fireplace. As you can see, it's a plug and it's plugged in there, but this is
Super
currently
sketchy.
Yeah, it's super sketchy. It's live right now. It's got power to it. I think it was just kind of sitting in there. I don't even know that it was attached to anything. I don't even see any holes. I think it was just slipped like that. Oh yeah, because that was tightened right there. And then, okay, then that was tightened right there. Okay, so I'm gonna pull the power and I guess try to retighten it on there. But then look at this. This camper is falling apart. This is just from driving to Texas.
So we noticed as we drove through Louisiana that the roads were really bumpy. I don't know how to say that otherwise. Like, there were a lot of potholes and filled in potholes, and it was just a very jostling experience. So that probably has a lot to do with why we've got so much falling apart right now.
Louisiana is not completely to blame here. This is just a really cheap trailer that isn't meant to really be used in the way we're using it. But hey, you know what? We're gonna fix it as we go. Baby's happy now though.
It's like, I'm gonna read myself a book and play with my toys.
Glad to be out of that truck. And about 10 or 15 minutes later, the sink is now fixed. The sink drain, that is now temporarily fixed as well, and that's temporarily fixed. Everything's temporarily fixed right now until we get to a place where we can stay a few days and actually fix it right. Overall, it was a good drive though. I mean, we... Randy's laughing. But overall, it was a good drive. You know, we got here in one piece. No issues really. Only one baby blowout. And that was it. So, looking forward to tomorrow. Should be getting into a different biome now. We should be getting into more of a desert area, which I think that'll be nice, because we've never actually been to a desert, have we? Have you ever been to a desert?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so, alright, see you guys in the morning. Alright guys, it's 4 a.m. and just like that, we're rolling out. That's a bad day.
Highway 285 north for 140 miles.
What do you think of Roswell, Jordan?
It's not what I thought it was. I thought Roswell was near Area 51. Apparently I'm wrong. So, it's definitely bigger than I thought it was. I thought it was this small little town. I was completely wrong.
I was kind of on the same page as Jordan. I was expecting Roswell to be much smaller than it actually is, and I also expected it to be a lot more focused on aliens and little green men than it actually was. I don't know, I guess it's just from TV shows that I've seen and things like that. They kind of make it seem like that's the emphasis of the whole town, and
It's definitely like the emphasis, but it's not as prevalent maybe as...
Yeah, I mean, is it even the emphasis then? I don't know. It was interesting. It was cool. I just wanted to be able to say I've been here. So now I've been here. We had dinner or lunch here, and it was really good actually. So worth the stop just to kind of see. So this is lava flow from Mount Taylor, which is now a dormant volcano. But we were having a debate about it, which was pretty awesome. But we did look it up on Google, basically, to make sure that it was lava flow.
We just pulled in for the night. Got a few hours of daylight, so we're gonna go on a little walking trail. Ready, Randy? Got the baby. Covering her head from the sun. Check out this
volcanic
New Mexico walking trail. This is such a different climate than what we're used to. There's some more volcanic rock right there. The volcano, I believe, is way off in the distance. All the way over there, that big peak. Doesn't look so big on camera, but it's the biggest peak around here. What'd you find, Randy?
So it says that this land used to be called the Badlands by the Spanish explorers when they came through 500 years ago because the lava was too rough for their horses and carts.
The last eruption was how many years ago, Randy?
It was like between 4.3 and 1 million years ago or something like that. So a very, very long time ago.
Yeah, so I don't think we have anything to worry about. But yeah, looking forward, this is all lava rock out here. All that black rock right there. All of that. So this lava that we're looking at is actually from a separate volcano. This one's 115 years old.
115,000.
115,000 years old. We're stopped for gas right now and we're just looking up at a wall of rock. Pretty cool. So it's kind of funny, there was this huge line of UPS drivers, probably like 10 or 12 of them on the way here, and they're really annoying to follow because they kept changing speeds, and then they were really annoying to try to pass because they kept changing speeds again, and there's, you know, so many of them. And then now I stopped at this gas station and they have all filed in. They're all around me, so we got to get going pretty quickly. I want to get ahead of them. It's kind of funny. And then I can't believe this gas station is like right next to this giant cliff, so I'm loving Arizona and New Mexico so far.
I met an old man. I said, tell me your story. He took out a notepad and wrote something for me. He kept walking on down the road, and I watched him disappear like smoke. And I thought I'd just seen a ghost. Then I looked down at what he
Thoughts to share?
This is just so different than what we're used to. I'm excited for the main event, the grand event.
Grand event.
Everything we've ever heard about the Grand Canyon is like, it's so much bigger than what you would picture. And so yeah, you have to see it in person, I guess.
Honestly, I've been really impressed with Arizona. I didn't know what to imagine, I guess. I kind of just pictured, you know, stereotypical desert, but a lot of it reminded me of Colorado. It's very pretty out here, and yes, completely different than anything I've experienced, so it's kind of exciting to see.
I said, son, when you grow up you'll be fine. I know you've got questions on your mind. Life is gonna happen one way or the other, whether you like it or not. Stop looking for the answers and you'll find what you've got.
Did you like it?
What would you think?
She doesn't really look at things that are more than like 20 feet away from her, though.
Crazy girl. She's like, I'm happy to be out of the car seat. That's what I care about.
Randy's taking the wheel. Going down a 6% grade. Semi-truck's flying by. She's doing good. I got the baby back here. Baby's teething, throwing a tantrum. She calmed down for the camera. She's got one tooth that's out and another coming in. Yeah. Got mountains all around it.
It is beautiful. What do you think, little?
There's like no vegetation. That's the thing that's a little weird about it. It's like
There's a little bit of vegetation, but it's like very small shrubs. It's very
like post-apocalyptic.
post-apocalyptic. Please note how Jordan put on his hat because his hair is a mess.
We did the trip from New Orleans to Las Vegas in 3 days, 2 nights. Aside from this clip here, we didn't do any filming in Vegas because we were only there to visit a longtime family friend. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. We still have tons of content of this trip to show you all along the West Coast. Stay tuned for that, as well as our regular boat tours coming at you soon.
I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here with me by the fire and let it